From The Independent, DeSantis fury after Trump is projected Iowa caucus winner before some even started voting. Language from the DeSantis campaign echoes Trump's own election denialism. It's kind of sad because DeSantis had said previously that if Donald Trump loses in Iowa, he will claim it was fraudulent or it was untoward or something like that. And now that Donald Trump has won, it is actually DeSantis' campaign saying that something was afoul here. But here's the real conspiracy, my friends. As many of you may know, if you were watching the Iowa caucuses last night, within about a half an hour of the caucuses beginning, they called the race for Donald Trump. The Associated Press said, "We have seen enough. Trump is the winner." Now, of course, the DeSantis campaign is saying that's not fair. People haven't voted yet. This is a trick to help Donald Trump. DeSantis' campaign staff even said that. The media is pro-Biden. They want Trump to be the nominee because they want Trump to run against Biden so Biden can beat him. These people are as dumb as a box of rocks. I'm sorry. That's offensive to rocks. The reality is this was a play against Donald Trump. And I'll break it down for you. And I am right. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, but okay, but hear me out. Think about this. Whose election is it to lose? Donald Trump. If you're a DeSantis supporter, you know entering this race, you are facing an uphill battle. You know that if you want Ron to win, you must fight tooth and nail. And so you're sitting there ready to caucus, and you get a push notification that says Trump is the winner. You knew Trump was the favorite here. You know that to win, you must do your duty. Why would you leave? Now, hold on. You're a Trump supporter. You know Trump is going to win. Everyone is telling you the race is pointless. Why are we even having a primary? Trump is up 30, 40 points. You're sitting there in minus 15 degrees in your caucus location and your phone burp and you look down and it says Trump is the projected winner already. And you go, okay, I knew we won. I don't need to be here. Everybody knew Trump won. I'm going home. The reality is it was Trump's to lose. And the only people I would say Trump supporters are more likely to leave having already believed they were going to win in the first place. And this is brought up by Trump and many Republicans, that because the polling favors Trump so much, Trump supporters are more likely to be like, well, I guess Trump already won. Why do I need to show up? This is what they warn about. Some people say this is what cost Hillary Clinton 2016. They were so confident Hillary would win that many Democrats were like, why even bother showing up? So this is not a play against DeSantis. It is not media bias for Trump. It is media bias against Trump to trick Trump supporters, and it didn't work. Or if it did, it wasn't enough.
And you got a great point, Tim, because right before we went on air, I read an article from Politico on their newsletter. It says Trump won, but only 7% of the Republicans came out. So that's their story.
Lowest
line, right? So
lowest turnout in a decade.
So if you're standing online or waiting to vote, and I wasn't there, you were. How cold is it? You're like, oh, Trump won. Let me go home. You're not going to wait anymore.
Exactly. But if you're a DeSantis, Haley, or if you're an opposition voter, you're going to be like, we all knew they were going to call it for Trump. We have to stay here and try and get our candidate to win. If come 2024, or 2020, I mean the election in November, Trump supporters are not going to back down because they know you need a tsunami of votes to win. This is why I think the play is to get. This is why I think the primary is the general. Nikki Haley is the Democrat. She's running in the primary to beat Trump, and she's going to try and beat him in major urban strongholds. The play here is, well, it's basically that. They are going to try to convince Trump supporters that the GOP primary, it's done deal. Trump can't lose. Don't even bother coming out. And that might work. See, because everybody's saying, come November, everyone must vote. Bring your friends. Don't assume Trump will win because that's how they trick you. But in the primary, everyone's like, Trump won already.
And RFK gave up on the primary, right? He said, "This is a rigged primary." But at first, he was a Democrat. He said, "This is too rigged. I can't run it." There's another congressman, I believe his name is Dean Phillips, ran. He's getting no attention.
Well, Phillips is doing. I think he's doing okay in New Hampshire right now.
Right. So the play is probably let's get as many Democrats as we can in New Hampshire and vote for Nikki Haley, and this way we can somehow stop Trump. If she can win New Hampshire, then it's, Nikki ahead.
This is
with
what
the
people
donors and the media.
And people are missing out that there's going to be Republican primaries in blue states. Nikki Haley could win those.
So how many ways are they trying to stop Trump right now? They're trying to pull him off the ballot, right? They're trying to send him to prison in New York, Georgia, and at the federal level. They're
driving
trying
him
to,
crazy with civil suits.
They're driving
like,
right. They have the E. Jean Carroll
right.
and the stupid Letitia James one. You took out loans and paid them back. That's a criminal offense.
Right. So he's
crazy man.
How dare you?
Wait, he won the primary last night. He flew to New York and sat in this civil trial. That's
with this stupid
garbage.
E. Jean Carroll thing.
Which is garbage. And then he just flew back to New Hampshire and did it. The energy this man has is amazing.
I know. At his age,
it's incredible.
Yeah. People will tell me I work a lot, right? Because I'm barely functioning off any sleep right now, and I'm like, don't look at me, look at Trump. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No question. I mean, he's flying nonstop. I don't even know how he does it.
I don't know how you do it.
And I don't know how Trump does it. Man, it's hard enough for me.
Everywhere up the level because you all work really hard. I mean, like both of you.
I work extremely long days, but I'm not flying back from Iowa at 3:00 in the morning.
I got to start eating more McDonald's because Trump eats McDonald's, and that must be
Doesn't he like a Diet Coke?
And the golfing, you got to start golfing.
Tim does not want to stop her to start golfing.
I am not going to eat McDonald's.
It was the Sunday before 2020, right before the election, and I was at a private aviation airport. It was his fourth rally of the day. Fourth. It was 12:30 at night. He started the rally. I turned around. I saw New Yorkers I knew and Floridians everywhere. It was like 5,000 people. I said, "There's no way he's going to lose this election." It's 12:30 at night. There's 5,000 people, and it's his fourth stop. And he spoke for an hour and 15 minutes to 2 a.m.
Yeah,
I said, "How does he humanly do this?" If you told most humans you got to do 2 stops today and do 2 speeches, I'm like, well, I don't know if I can do that.
But he's also so personable. Yeah. I mean, like last night at his victory speech, he brought Brick Suit up on stage. That was that was so cool. Yeah. And I like Brick Suit. I think he's a really swell guy. And I thought that was great. Like he notices his supporters. Mm-hmm. He calls them out, and he's just like so present in the room with people. I've seen him speak a couple of times, and usually it's at these like giant things.
Yeah.
And it's always personable.
Yeah, he has, and he can feel
amazing.
I mean, we might just credit him with being an extrovert here. He really does feed off the energy of people, and being around people. An introverted person would be like, "This is too much. I must leave immediately." But I think Trump's energy also underscores how tired Biden's campaign already is. Right?
They should just go back to that basement. I mean, put on the masks.
Right. Trump is younger than Biden by what, 2-3 years, but Biden seems exhausted, and he is in the White House with everyone around him.
He has the old man walk.
He has the old man walks. He has a slur. He has his voice has audibly changed, and it's just rough.
And you can't make Weekend at Bernie's jokes about Trump.
I was thinking, just like totally for no reason, and it's nonsensical, but all the things, like there's a lot of things we don't like about Joe Biden that are perfectly acceptable if he was a golden retriever. Like first, the obvious is sniffing kids. Right. Like, the dog runs up to the kid sniffing. Nobody cares. It's funny. Fumbling around and falling down and rolling on the ground. We laugh. Oh, puppy fell down. And then the muttering incoherent nonsense. When the dog walks in the room and goes, rah, 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 we're laughing. We're like, I wonder what. But when Joe Biden does it, you're like, this guy's got the nuclear codes.
Yeah.
But at least the dog always knows where the stairs are, right?
Mm-hmm. Biden never does. Who would be a better president right now, a golden retriever or Biden?
Golden
That's
retriever.
Rough. Yeah,
no, for real. Because paralysis is better than whatever it is Biden is doing. I mean, a golden retriever as president, CBP is going to come and be like, sir, what should we do at the border? And it's going to go, brr. And they're like, we have nothing. We have no idea. Joe Biden's like, facilitate human smuggling. And then they do.
Yeah.
So at least the golden retriever can't give orders.
That's true.
But he can get belly rubs.
And he would just look great. He would make us all feel wonderful. So Joe Biden, we're just like nervous about all
Joe
the time.
Biden getting belly rubs would be alarming for the country.
No, I don't want to see
that. That would be really weird, wouldn't it? And you notice how every time he goes out there and gives a speech, what he really says is Trump voters suck?
Yes.
You notice how he does that over and over again?
Negative.
And it's like, how would any of us ever come vote for you? All you do is tell us that we're extremists, that our religion is bad, even though, we're basically just Christian.
Also, when convenient, you claim to be Catholic.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, the FBI targets Catholics. The FBI targets parents who speak up at school board meetings. Joe Biden calls us all extremists, and we're supposed to come around and be like, no, it's okay that you're, destroying the country and you hate us. We're going to vote for you anyway. Why would you vote for someone who just keeps telling you that they hate you?
Adrienne Curry in the chat says Golden would have great polling numbers no matter what it did. And that gives me an idea. I'm going to take a picture of a golden retriever and just post it on X with a poll, favorability rating, favorable, unfavorable. And I bet it's going to be 95% favorability.
Dog people are going to go berserk in your chat. I feel like they're going to have all kinds of comments about it. People feel really strongly about
What's
their
your
dogs.
favorability of random dog I found on internet?
Yes. I mean, I would think a border collie would be a better call for president. It's smarter than a golden retriever, but a golden retriever do less harm than Joe Biden.
I like a corgi.
I'll do that now.
Yeah, I like a corgi.
But that's the British monarchy's dog.
I know, and they round people up.
Field occupied. It'd be like a whole thing.
I used to hang out with my friend in Connecticut at his family's lake house, and we'd all go hang out. But he had this corgi. And all of us, goofy kids would be hanging out in the yard, and the corgi would notice that we weren't all in the same place and would just start rounding us all up. And we'd be like, "Oh my goodness, Ginger just rounded us all up." That's crazy.
My cousin had an Australian cattle dog that they were like, "Oh, we'll rescue it," but it was from like a working dog line, and there were a lot of us growing up, and it would herd us onto couches.
Would my little guy make a great president? Or
what?
Sammy.
That's so
cute and tiny. I don't know if the cameras can see it, but it's a tiny, tiny Chihuahua who's very, very, very sweet.
Sammy.
What's the stamina on this dog, right? Like,
but even last night, Joe Biden's staffers, I guess, tweeted out at 11:30 p.m. because, of course, Joe Biden was probably asleep, but tweeted out, looks like Donald Trump just won Iowa. He's the clear front runner on the other side at this point. Here's the thing. This election was always going to be you and me versus extreme MAGA Republicans. It was true yesterday, and it'll be true tomorrow.
But they're the party of the future.
But they're
the uniting party.
They're the uniters. And you had Rachel Maddow last night bragging about how MSNBC was not going to show Trump's victory speech because it's, truth is really important. And then she starts talking about rising authoritarianism. And there she is, literally praising the network she works for censoring the guy who's giving a speech thanking his opponents and talking about unity. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Even Obama masked his terrible policies, but he masked his speeches in positive. He was always looking up in America.
That's how he won because
even Clinton was, and this guy is just brutally negative against half of the country. It's
and fear-mongering. Yeah. He wants the people who do support him to be very, very scared of other people, specifically people who vote differently than them.
We got a super chat from X Tin Man saying he's going to go to the Democrat ballot and write in Haley, write in Trump.
Yeah, that's a better plan.
Like, what if every Republican in the Democrat primary? Well, because they're not having primaries, I guess. The Democrats are just not doing it. But what if every Republican went to the Democrat primary and wrote in Trump?
Well, that's the other thing is that the Democrats have really snubbed New Hampshire this year.
And Iowa.
And Iowa. They honored Iowa, but they're saying South Carolina is the first primary.
That's what they really want.
Caucus. And that's because Biden got wrecked in New Hampshire last time, and he won South Carolina. And so they passed it off as like, well, we need more diversity, and we need to be reflective of the voters, and so we're going to avoid New Hampshire. But they know probably if he had to primary there, I mean, he's the incumbent, so it's a weird year, but he would not do well. New Hampshire doesn't like him.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.